What is up? What is up, man? Another video. Had to. A lot of stuff is going on in the NBA world. Dejounte Murray is now an Atlanta Hawk. He's no longer a San Antonio Spur. We know what the Spurs are doing. We know Victor Wembanyama is coming out next year. We know Scoot Henderson is coming out next year. We know what the Spurs are doing. They aren't slick. Why be a play-in team, struggle to make the playoffs, not be a real contender, not be a prominent free agent destination when you could try to build through the draft, try to land the top talent next year, try to land a top 4 pick along with Atlanta's picks, along with that pick that you got from Atlanta via Charlotte. That's just the smart way to go about it. You know, if you're not in the competition, if you're not one of those teams that's competing for a title that's considered a real contender, what are you doing? Like, what is this for? You don't want to be stuck in that spot where you're just constantly hitting that wall, constantly 8th through 12th seed, constantly playing, always drafting 15th, 16th. You don't want to be in that spot. No NBA team. That is NBA purgatory. A lot of people say being at the bottom is NBA purgatory. No, being mid is NBA purgatory. You don't want to be mid. This isn't the NFL. You don't get 7 rounds. You don't get high quality picks naturally 15, 16, 17, 18. That just doesn't happen. You normally don't get franchise changing players there. It's mostly at the top 1 through 4, 1 through 5, depending on the draft year. So we know what the Spurs are doing. For the Atlanta Hawks, I really like this trade for them. We saw what the Miami Heat did last year to Trae Young. We saw them blitz him. We saw them, constantly trap him 30 feet away from the rim and him not have another ball handler there to create, along with their terrible defense. They were god-awful. I think out of all the playoff teams last year, they may have been the worst. Even in the play-in, they may have been the absolute worst team just defensively wise. And, Trae Young had a lot of pressure on him offensively. Dejounte Murray helped spell a lot of that. I love it. A lot of people are questioning how it's going to fit. And I just feel like we have to get away from this mentality that, oh, you need somebody to play off ball where you got two ball dominant guys. That's old, archaic thinking. I don't think that. I don't share that same type of thought process. I've seen it work. I've seen it work with James Harden and Russell Westbrook. I've seen it work with James Harden and Chris Paul. I've seen it work. Does it mean championship all the time? No, but that you can't have success. You can't have success. We saw Luka Doncic. We saw Jalen Brunson. We saw Spencer Dinwiddie just last year. 3 ball-dominant players, 3 guys that all need the ball, go to the conference finals. We've seen this work. I mean, it can work. It's all dependent upon, just how you guys play together and the chemistry and the yin and yang that you guys can fit together ultimately when you get to that point. But man, I love this move for the Atlanta Hawks. They got to keep John Collins in the deal. They only offloaded picks and they offloaded Danilo Gallinari, whose game he's at the end. He's at the end of his career at this point. He's probably going to maybe get bought out by San Antonio unless his deal is expiring. I haven't looked it up that much. I haven't looked it up at all, actually, so I don't know. But I really like that. I really like this for Atlanta, man, because sometimes you got to shake things up. You have to shake things up sometimes. And Trae Young had a lot of pressure on him. And he's kind of small. He's 6'1" maybe. And to have all that pressure on him, to carry the offense, to constantly everything go through him, that's draining. That's draining for any player. I don't care how great you are. That is draining. So to get another ball handler in there, another point guard, a guy who just came off of an all-star season, who is fringe all-NBA caliber, that's an excellent deal for the Atlanta Hawks. Great fucking move. Great move. Great move. Let's get to some of the free agency stuff. For the free agency, James Harden declines his player option. Bradley Beal declines his player option. Russell Westbrook, of course, picked up his player option. Some teams have declined their player option. I think Sacramento declined Dante DiVincenzo's player option. The Rockets declined Jae'Sean Tate's. OKC declined Lou Dort's. I think that Lou Dort and Jae'Sean Tate are due for raises, and that's pretty much that on that. Anywhere between $8 to $12 million a year. Those guys earned their money. They were making pennies on the dollar compared to what the value that they bring to their respective teams. For James Harden, man, this is good for him. I mean, taking up $47 million of the cap when you're trying to, quote unquote, win a championship and you played at the level that you played at for his caliber last year, it's not good. So opt out, take 13, 14, $15 million less. Extend the contract 2-3 seasons, get a player option for that third year. I'm just assuming that's what's gonna happen. Bring in PJ Tucker. It's rumored that the Sixers are also trying to trade for Eric Gordon from the Houston Rockets. Bring him there. You can't go into another postseason with Korkmaz and Shake Milton coming off your bench. You just can't. Gorgie Niang being your best bench scorer, that's not it. That's not it. That is not the move. You can't do that. You can't continuously beat your head against the wall and think things are going to change. You have to get more talent in there. You have to get more depth in there. You have to get more defense in there. That's that. For Bradley Beal, it's time to get out of DC, in my opinion. I mean, most people know that, you're chasing them, you're getting the money, you're getting generational wealth. That's fine. If you want generational wealth, that's fine. But if you want to win, if you truly want to be a part of a winning opportunity and a winning culture, DC not it, man. You almost 30. It's time to move on. It's time to go to another team and put yourself in a position to where you can compete for a championship, because DC, you're not coming close. You're not coming close to competing there. I'm not saying join and make a super duper team, but put yourself in a better position to win a championship. DC is not it. That's pretty much it, man. I want to chop it up with y'all. Thank you for watching, as always. Like and subscribe. Thank you. Ray Nation Blog out.